Let's now turn our attention to the just concluded Anambra local government elections, where the All Progressives Grand Alliance, that's the ruling party in the state, APGA, coasted to victory in that election, winning all chairmanship and councillorship positions across the 21 local government areas and 326 wards. Of course, this election, the build-up to it itself, has raised issues with other parties in the state, a lot of them boycotting the election. But APGA, in any case, has taken the victory. And we're joined on the program by Mr. Lomefo, who's the Commissioner for Information in Anambra State. Thank you for joining us on Lunchtime Politics, Mr. Mefo.
Yeah, thank you for hosting me. Thank you.
I can see the smile on your face, which of course derives from the victory of your party over the weekend. But how free, fair, and credible would you describe that election if other parties in the election boycotted it? In fact, ANSEC said they weren't even there for the result announcement, for an election that is expected to have been contested by all parties. Not having those parties even participating to an extent and being there for result announcement surely is a major issue.
Yeah, many political parties participated, and unfortunately, they didn't win. And the reason is not far-fetched. Anambra is APGA, and it's very difficult to defeat APGA in Anambra State. So nobody should be surprised that APGA indeed took all the positions. The second reason why the APGA total victory came should be the sterling performance of Professor Soludo. He has done so much and so well to the point that the election confirmed that indeed the people appreciate the governor and the political party under which he ran and won and is governing the state. I observed the election. I visited many wards, polling units, and all that. And overall, the election was peaceful. It was transparent. And for me, more importantly, history was also made. History made in the sense that it's the first time Anambra is holding a local government election in 11 years. Peter Obi conducted the local government elections when he was about leaving office. His successor, Willie Obiano, didn't conduct any. Professor Soludo, while running for governorship, made a very strategic commitment to holding a local government election. He promised that if he was elected the governor of Anambra State, that he would certainly conduct a local government election. And that is a very major promise made. And he kept faith with that promise only yesterday by conducting a free, fair, transparent, credible local government election. Yes, there could be hitches here and there. Don't forget that Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission has been in the, should I say, cooler, for the past 1 decade. So they have gone rusty. So we expected a few of these hitches. And commendably, not many. And even in advanced democracies, you still find the hitches. So complaint of political parties that said they wouldn't participate, a few of them that didn't participate. Let me single out All Progressives Congress. Well, I understand they even went to court. You see, the way you check the viability of any political party is its ability to win elections in a state or in the federation entire. In Anambra State particularly, many of these, in fact, almost all these political parties that are making noise now, they have not won elections in the past.
Well, Mr.
So
Mefo,
they are not winning now should not be surprised.
Right. Let me come to this major issue that has also been raised about the build-up to this election, and one of the chieftains of the Labour Party, Honourable Afam Victor Ogene, raised this major issue that originally it was meant to be 60 days, the notice for the election and preparations, but the law was amended to 30 days, and he wonders why the rush. I mean, why reduce it to 30 days? In fact, we just gave a breaking news about the case of Rivers State, where the court said, well, they didn't abide by the 90-day period. So for other states, it's even meant to be 90 days. But Honorable Ogene is querying why this was cut short from 60 days, which is 30 days lesser than 90 days, further to 30 days. That's just 1 month. What do you have to say about that? Is that fair?
Yeah. Unfair to who? It cannot be said to be unfair since no particular political party suffered any disadvantage or advantage. All the political parties, including all progressives, Grand Alliance, APGA, were all subjected to the same electoral timeline. And the issue of violation does not occur because there is a law that is establishing the new timeline. And every political party was expected to adjust to it. And many did. APGA did, PDP did, others did. And the man who was saying that, asking the question, why the rush? Well, the local government election has to be held. And the proof that the 1 month notice was sufficient was shown yesterday in the conduct, the impressive turnout, and the way and manner the entire exercise was carried out. So I don't see why that dissension should be taken seriously.
So the question is, why the rush? We know that elections, there are lots of moving parts to elections. Whether you like it or not, the ruling party in the state usually has the upper hand. You have access to institutions of the state, power over institutions of the state, access to the state coffers. You are basically called the party in power for a reason. So there's usually the advantage that the ruling party has. So making it 30 days, the other parties, particularly Labour parties, say, well, this is unfair to them, particularly because they're obviously not the party in power and they'll need some extra time. So why, for example, would you have states saying, we need 90 days to prepare, but Anambra didn't do 90, didn't do 60, you did 30, 1 month. Why the rush?
There was no rush, as far as I am concerned. I believe I also have answered that question when I said that the new timeline subjected the entire political process to affect everybody equally, ruling party or not. You talked about the ruling party having access to this and that. Well, that's an advantage that APGA enjoys for being in power in Anambra. I told you also that Anambra is APGA. That's a fact. And what you should ask whoever is raising such a dissension is how many members do they have in Anambra House of Assembly? How many do they have in the House of Reps and in the Senate? They don't have. That's the issue here. And the critical stakeholder I see in this whole thing could be maybe PDP, but the PDP is not complaining. PDP participated in the election fully, and they didn't win though, for the reason, like I said, Anambra is APGA. Right. That's the truth. And Soludo has done so well that the people decided to return his party. And don't forget, you know, this local government election was projected to be a referendum on Soludo's performance. And it turned out to be exactly the same thing because the people gave a resounding yes to his party and therefore to him, affirming him as the one who they voted for. They want the local government areas to also be governed by APGA.
All right, Mr. Before, I know that this particular argument will be on and would allow that slide for now, but let's talk about the core issue of governance. Now, these people have emerged as either local government chairmen or councillors. The elephant in the room now is local government autonomy. Is Governor Soludo ready, willing, and able to implement local government autonomy, which is an order, by the way, by the Supreme Court? Is that something he is able, ready, and willing to do as a matter of urgency now that these people have emerged, allow them have their money and their autonomy without any form of interference, either directly, tacitly, indirectly, or whatever way?
You know, in our presidential democracy, local government is a tier of government. It's a tier, it's a third tier, and it is duly recognized in the Constitution. In other words, your question on what would be the relationship between Governor Soludo and the local government is clearly defined by the law. So I don't see any need to entertain that fear, because the laws on this, the ex-ante laws, dividing power between the state governor and or state government rather, and the local government, those laws will come to play. And again, the fact that Soludo has decided to even hold local government election is a very clear indication that he wants autonomy at local government level. He's not under any compulsion, because if he were under any compulsion, it should be extended to other states of the federation. And you and I know that as many as 20 states in Nigeria is still running their local governments based on the transition committees. So Soludo taking the initiative to hold election for local government, it means that he wants local government administration in Anambra State to run according to law. And your fears are not germane, if you ask me, with due respect, sir.
Well, he's been speaking about this really for some time now, ever since the Supreme Court gave that particular judgment. So when you say that my question is not germane, or my concerns are not germane, you do understand that he had said that the LG autonomy is against true federalism. Are you aware of that, just to be clear?
Yes, he could say that. And of course, it's the fact that states, in a normal presidential democracy, you have a two-tier. Nigeria is about the only country where you have three tiers in a federation. And it's a contemplation of Nigerian constitution. So even if Professor Soludo observed that granting a local government autonomy is antithetical to basic tenets of a normal federation or federalism, he's quite right, actually. But it is our constitution created local government as a tier. So what he said is true, because it's only in Nigeria, about only in Nigeria, you have three tiers of government in our federation. You don't find that in other federations. Out of the 26 countries of the world that practice federalism, Nigeria is the only one that has three tiers. But since it's the way we want ours, so shall it be, and let us practice it and see how it goes. And for me, Soludo believes in devolution of power, and even from the center to states. So he will not be against devolving power to local governments. Again, is what obtains in the Constitution. And himself working according to the laws of the land to ensure that the local government functions optimally in Anambra State is a given. And like I said, there's no reluctance on his part.
No, because you had earlier said that my concerns were not germane, even though they weren't concerns, they were just questions based on what he had said. And now that I have confronted you with what he said about local government autonomy, I imagine you agree with me. In fact, let me quote him word for word. This is what he said, and he was speaking. No, because you said that my question was not germane, as though he was in support of local government autonomy when he said it clearly. Go ahead, please.
I believe we have handled that.
Well, let me just put it in context for our audience who may not understand where this is coming from. So he said that
Soludo can give an opinion. He can give an opinion, as a scholar.
No, this was his opinion as governor of Anambra State. In fact, Mr. Mefor, just a second. Let me make this statement so you can respond to it. This is what he said. He said that each state must have the power to design the kind of local government system they want. That is what true federalism is about. He said that there is no federal system in the world where you have 3 federal units. The counties in America where we copy, their local governments don't go to center to collect money directly. In fact, he said that it's funny that some APC people are arguing for autonomy of local government. And he says that it would take Nigeria back many decades from what a true federalism is. So that is clear. That is what he said as a governor of Anambra State.
That's what I'm saying, that as a scholar, he's aware of the earlier opinion I gave, that Nigeria is about the only federation in the world that has a 3-tier of a government, and is somehow antithetical to the basics you find in a normal, functional federalism. So that is it. But given that this is the constitutional contemplation for Nigeria as a country, he has demonstrated his commitment to allow that to work by holding a local government election. And that I think is what is important here. If he is reluctant to allow autonomy of local governments to happen, he wouldn't be amongst the first to hold a local government election. Okay. But he is.
So, Mr. Mefor, it is cheering to hear that. Are you saying that he has made a U-turn now and he doesn't believe that local government autonomy will take us back decades? Now he's in support of it. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. I don't think he has done any U-turn or made any U-turn, no. The fact is that he gave an informed opinion as a scholar. All right. And the Constitution is there. His opinion, his personal opinion, is different from what the law says and what
so he's going to grant them financial autonomy in spite of his scholarly opinion. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't get the question.
So he's going to grant financial autonomy, which is lawful, in spite of his scholarly opinion, which says that he thinks that it will take us back decades ago.
What the law says is what Professor Soludo will do.
All right. Well, interesting days ahead. We'll keep a close watch on local governance in Anambra State just to see how things play out, if indeed it follows the law or his scholarly opinion. But we'd like to thank you so much, Commissioner for Information, Anambra State, Mr. Law Mefor. Thank you for your time. We do hope so.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you once again for your time, Mr. Law.